Today is the day where I review my NC700s. I own this bike for a little over a year now, so I think I can properly review it, not just first impressions. So, the bike itself, like I said, Honda NC700s. She has 48 horsepower, 60 something torque, or around. It's got a lot of torque, I mean, a lot. She corners really well because she has a really low center of gravity. The brakes, they're pretty good. That was off braking. I like them. My bike does not have ABS because I bought it second hand. It's my everyday bike, so I use it every day for school, for everything, even in winter. And I must say, I'm falling more in love with it. I mean, on a tank, she's 14 liters of fuel. She costs in Portugal around 16 euros right now. I can do 320 kilometers before the reserve light comes on, and when it does, I can do easily over 40 or over 40 k's. It's a really fuel efficient bike. I really like it, partly because you can keep the revs so low. I mean, 60, well, not in 6 in 5th gear you can go as low as 40 and you accelerate, and she doesn't even complain, she just goes. In 6th gear you cannot put it under 70-80 kilometers an hour, or you feel it, which is what they improved by changing the gear ratios and adding a second balanced shaft to the engine on the NC750. So that's basically why she does that. She doesn't have a secondary shaft, not a secondary shaft, she doesn't have a balanced shaft on the engine. Honda did that on purpose, and I think they should not have done it. That's why then they changed it, because they really shouldn't have done it. Gears are very easy to put, never miss the gear, they always go, although they're a bit clunky. I mean, okay, quite clunky. I don't really like that, but yeah, very clunky. Even downshifting, just maintenance, it's not too bad. 12,000 kilometers between oil changes, or 1 year. In my case, it's November, but I'll have to do it. See, gears are easy to find. This clunk into 1st gear, this big ass clunk, it's normal. That's the way it works for some reason. I'll show you the bike. NC700s. Beautiful. I know, thank you. No, but I really like it. I had another exhaust on it, but yeah, it was damaging my fuel mapping. Wasn't liking it. It was too open, so I went back to the original exhaust. The original exhaust has a nice sound to it, although a bit not loud, a bit quiet. But you can shift like this: 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th at 50 k's an hour. So yeah, this is in kilometer, by the way. So you can go through the gears up quite easily, and not have a problem, not a single problem. More. Oh, it has only 2 trip meters, doesn't show the fuel economy itself, but I've used Fuelly and it averages 3.6, 3.7 of the in normal riding of the 3.5 Honda NC700s, and I believe it does that. If I really try, it does that. This I added heated grips. You should add this extra. This is not original, but you should buy it. More. The suspension, I like it. It's very good for cornering. I'll shall demonstrate. You'll see. Whoa. She does it really nicely. Big truck. She's quite planted, as long as you have right tires. I have the original tires. I bought it again, so she brought Petlax between the trees, and I bought another set of them when my were out. At 16,000 kilometers my back tire were out. My front one, it's the original one, and it's perfect. The bike has 18,000 kilometers now, so at around 30 I'll have to change the back one. The front one, I don't know, it's like halfway there, so it's fine. Yeah, I really like it. Fuel efficient, everything. Oh, well, what was I saying? The suspension, although it's very good for sporty riding, it's not bad at all. The steering does not have a damper, but she doesn't move or anything like that ever. But in this kind of terrain, the road, it's quite bumpy. It's a bumpy ride. With 2 people on the bike, 2 persons, it helps. It gets a bit more, a bit softer, but really no. Coming to 2-person, 2 up, riding 2 up. The bike corners perfectly. She doesn't scrape at corners even if you're going way too fast. And the back person has a nice sitting position. She can sit perfectly there. The problem being, these seats, which were fixed for the 750, are too slippery. So a nice upgrade would be changing the seats for the 750 ones, which I'm thinking about doing because they are, yeah, they are a bit slippery. On the sporty riding, oh, I'm all over the place. On the sporty riding, the bike, it is very good, but the ground clearance might be a problem for more experienced riders, because I'm not one of them, and I can scrape the pegs, so they're not too bad. You need to really go at it and really lean it, but you can scrape the pegs with some degree of easiness. Easiness, is that a word? I don't know. Yeah, so nice gearbox, nice engine, which you can drive more like a diesel car than a bike. Like, change gears very early. He likes it. She does not get hot on summer days. Very rarely turns on the fan, and you don't feel that much heat. Really don't. Maybe a bit from here in a really hot day. It's completely unmanageable. More. The mirrors, they're good. Yeah, you can see. You, as long as you have them on the right position, you can see quite well. And oh, there's the rosers. Yeah, I really like the bike. So yeah, I like it. Very easy, light clutch, very easy throttle, although a bit jerky in the beginning, like boom. but that's, I think, characteristic of the parallel twin engine. She's a 670cc, not a 700. But oh yeah, the party piece. This thing opens on the 700X. You open it here. On the 700S, you open it there. Yeah, it carries a full helmet. It's the most useful thing in the bike. I've never thought I'd say this, but it's really good. I mean, as you may have seen, I have a top case rack. I rarely use the top case for other than school, because everything else I put here. It takes a full helmet, gloves, and a few other bits and bobs, so you can stop and not have to carry your helmet around, which honestly I quite like it. The mirrors are switched. The mirrors, the indicators are switched with the horn, but I like it better. And yes, so my bike with the top case is not ugly. It fits in well. I really like it. And I mean, this, like I said, you can carry the helmet, or if you go on a big trip and you have which is possible to have, the two side cases and the top case, you can still put more stuff in here. The bike will be able to cruise perfectly, even with two persons on it, and stuff, and a lot of stuff. So yeah, she can carry the weight, she can carry everything. It's the only bike you'll ever need. I'm not saying she has enough power, she does, but she could have a little bit more. Still, she has 50 horsepower, which I shall now demonstrate in a bit, are completely okay. The problem is, yeah, you'll wish you had more. It wasn't harm the bike characteristics to add some more power, but so uphill and it's fine. Yeah, I really like the bike. That's it. So, good all-round bike, perfect city bike. She cannot do off-road like the X version, but I wouldn't do, so I didn't buy the X version. I love it. It's perfect in every way. She'd have a bit more power, but that's it. I don't mind the power, and I cannot drive more because it's A2 license friendly. So honestly, I'm fine with it. She could have a less clunky gearbox too, but she never misses a gear. And if you want to put gears on without clutch, like clutchless upshifting, yeah, you can do that perfectly. Not that I will recommend you doing it, but you can. And she's very, very balanced because she has a very low center of gravity. So that's it. Hopefully it's not a too long review, and hopefully you liked it. Yeah, that's it. Road Blazer out.